Welcome to another episode of Anime Ups and Downs, where we take the good moments, the bad moments, we take this finger right here, we up the good ones, we down the bad parts, and let's get into it. Before I get into it, go ahead and like, subscribe, go ahead and comment down below if there's any other animes you would like to see me do. We go over Bleach, Blue Lock, My Hero Academia, and Chainsaw Man. Let's get into it. We start off today's episode with none other than Bleach, 1000-Year War Blood Arc. It is getting insane. I was blown away by this episode. We start off with Yamamoto, just himself, saving Kenpachi. You remember the last episode, Kenpachi Challenge. I think you say Yuwaha. I don't know how to say his name. It's in Japanese. I read it in subtitles, so we're going to call him Your Majesty. Yamamoto is pissed. He, right off the bat, kills 3 Quincy's. 3 of them. Like that, instant, up. They get into a little squabble. It goes to a little stalemate. They're standing there looking at each other. Yamamoto releases his Bankai. Oh, I can't believe it. I've been waiting years to see this. I don't read the manga. His first Bankai was just called East. And he sucked up all the flames and everything out of all the heat into his blade. And it had tremendous destructive power. Just, bow, he tapped it. And it was leveling stuff, just everything. Blows up the dang street, blows up a building, and then he's just like, I'm fed up with this. So he calls for West. It envelops his body in flames. 15 million degrees Celsius. My guys, do you realize that is the sun? His body is now a blade. He is the sun. His Majesty decides to try to use his ultimate defense. And you know what our boy Yamamoto does? He calls for South. He sticks the blade in the ground, and all of a sudden there's freaking dead people everywhere. There's dead people, and His Majesty can literally see the people that Yamamoto killed. Now he's got to step over his dead companions. I'm giving all this fight scene so far an up. Big ups to him. This man calls from North and just blows away freaking His Majesty. A whole freaking hole in his side. He's done. Yo, this boy, His Majesty, was on something because it wasn't him. He's laying on the ground with a whole hole up in his chest, and he says, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it, Your Majesty. I failed. His Majesty pops up out the ground from under Barracks 1, where, guess who? Aizen! He was having a conversation with him. He was like, join me. And Aizen's like, you know what? Nah, we both had the same path. I'm not joining you. What? Aizen's just chilling, and he's like, I know who you are. Where's that gonna go? Look, is Aizen gonna be involved in any of this? I don't know. I want to know. His Majesty's like, hey, guess what? I know you used up all your strength, and it wasn't that I couldn't steal your. It wasn't that they couldn't steal your Bankai. It was that I'm the only one strong enough. Then Yamamoto gets his Bankai stolen. Come on. No, say it ain't so. No. Down. The man got his Bankai stolen. Down. And then I think Yamamoto dead. He might be dead. No, they're down. But this episode, we're giving it up. I don't know. The action, everything going on, we're giving it up. Even though Yamamoto probably dead, we're giving it up though. Phenomenal episode. Let's move on. So we just finished up the new episode of Chainsaw Man. We start back off inside of the hotel, stuck on the 8th floor. We're starting to notice things like endless loops. They go down the stairs, they're stuck on the 8th floor. Go up the stairs, they're stuck on the 8th floor. It's 818 in every single room. You go through a room, you go through a window, stuck on the same floor. It all leads back to the hallway. Arai and Kobani are losing their freaking mind. Kobani gets knocked out because she decides to drink some toilet water. So Himano's like, we had to put her down. Arai is over underneath some blankets being a little baby back bitch because he's scared. They're getting gripped by fear, which we find out a little bit later means something. We then get a little bit of backstory, how Himino gets Aki to smoke cigarettes. A nice little bit, how their partnership is forming. That's getting up. I really like when they develop characters and backstories like that. Aki is looking around, trying to find ways to get out. And then he comes back to the room and says, we got a problem. The devil may have grown a little bit. Fucking huge. The devil's huge now. He comes out and says, hey, guess what? You're stuck in my stomach. What? We're in a hotel, but now we're in a stomach? So they didn't kill the head devil. It's now bigger, and we're stuck in the stomach. That's where we're at. And the devil wants to eat Denji. For some reason, Denji is feared by this devil. Now, Kobani and Arai are like, just feed him the devil. Aki's like, nope, we ain't doing that. You out your damn mind. My call, that means it would benefit the devil, so we're not doing that. We find out that the devil is called the Eternity Devil. We find out this devil grows more with fear because Kobani goes to encounter power and it's like, it's all your fault. And she then screams and is just like starting to lose her mind more. The devil starts growing. They all end up in the same room. The freaking whole building flips on its side, and it's like the Eternity Devil is staring up there with a big old mouth just looking up at him. And he's like, give me Denji. Kobani, being in the state of mind she is, goes to say, let's kill Denji, tries to kill Denji. Aki steps in the way, gets stabbed, and they kind of back off. Then he's like, you know what? I have no other recourse but to use my sword. And apparently this sword's really bad and it takes years off of him. So Himano stops him and says, no, that is what their friendship is. Himano is scared to lose Aki. She doesn't want another partner. Well, Denji, being the thug he is like, you know what? Fuck it, let's go. All right. He pulls his ripcord. He jumps off towards the Eternity Devil, and it ends. I don't know how to feel about this episode. I don't know whether to give it up or down because it felt like we're setting up a story, but you got people going crazy. I guess it left me on the edge of my seat. Up. Let's move on. All right, I'm back with my son. He didn't watch this episode of My Hero Academia, but I did. This one, mind blowing. Just, I'm mad and I'm happy, but we'll get to it. Now, in this episode, My Hero Academia, the UA students have left their trap. Uh, Makina is running towards it. He gets caught in a pretty dang good trap, might I add. They made it so he sinks into the ground. They have connected stickies on the ground, and as soon as he drops into it, he gets wrapped up on his neck. They have things attached to the bottom of his chin, so they're pulling open his mouth. They think they have him. They go to throw the sedative, and he blows them away. Trap was amazing. Love with UA students. They also attacked the villains on his back. So for the teamwork aspect, we're giving it up. He's stuck in the trap. They think they got him. They go to throw the canisters. And as they throw the canisters, he uses like this air. He like basically spits out all this air. And then Dobby lights the air on fire, and now they're engulfed in flames and stuck in the fire. And Makina just goes to stand up. We find out that this man has many quirks. One is this is broken. He uses morale to gain energy. Broken. And he also has a quirk that stops him from feeling pain, so he can stay on the battlefield forever. So he goes to stand up. Momo, she had put some bombs inside of this little quicksand pit that they had to set up. She hits that. Boom, he sinks back down. Miss Giant jumps on his back and she says, I saw them trying to do something, and she just tries to rip his freaking mouth back open. Ashino jumps through the flame using the viscosity of her acid, and she goes to throw the canister. She has some crazy flashback. I don't know what it was, but she has a flashback about something, and she almost drops her canister, almost gets smashed in the ground, but right before she does, Ijiro pushes her out the way, takes the smash, because he ran through the flames too to save her. Well, not to save her, but he just ended up happened to be there to save her.
The the one that got those two people that got crushed, are they dead?
No, he's covered in. He makes his skin really hard. His skin is really hard.
Both of the people?
No, one got pushed out the way. The other one makes his skin really hard, so he can take like blows. He basically he's like rock. His skin's like rock.
So it'd be hard to chew on him?
Yes, be hard to chew on him. So he gets through the flame. Then Makina stands back up. Jiro climbs up to the top using his claws. Bam, bam, bam. Climbs up there, and he goes to throw a canister. canister gets broken, but then he pulls out a Shino's canister and then throws that in his mouth.
Knew it.
So so the sedative has been administered, and then Momo says, "We need to get him moving so the sedative can take effect." We kick it back to Shigaraki, and he looks almost utterly defeated, hands on the ground, knees just beat up. They go to try to administer the finishing blow, Endeavor and Gran Torino. They get their they get rocked, right? Take major damage. Looks like Shigaraki is not done, but Shigaraki's sheer willpower gets him going. He goes to go for Aizawa, and if Aizawa loses his powers, let me tell you something right now. If Aizawa loses his powers, I'm gonna be pissed. Right now, this moment is getting it down. Because if Sensei loses his powers, I'm gonna be furious. The fact that Shigaraki's still going for him, down. I don't. Yeah, leave him alone. But Shigaraki goes to go for Aizawa. Dragon interferes, and she puts her hand down. Shigaraki goes through her goddamn claw. Midoriya wraps his hands around Shigaraki. Just, you're the only one. And he says, "You're the only one I can't forgive." And he's like, "I have to stop him." Now, whereas the moment right here, Midori, you're doing the right thing. Why did you name your smash the Wyoming Smash? Of all states in the United States, you name it the Wyoming Smash just for that reason. I'm giving you a damn. Because who the hell goes to Wyoming? Midori, you're doing the right thing, but Wyoming. So he says 100. He pushes his body to 100%. Says Wyoming Smash. Shigaraki catches the damn Wyoming Smash with his mouth. What? And the hand that he put through, he said he had a deleter round still in his hand, and he shoots it towards Aizawa, and that's how we end the damn episode. Down for that. I don't want to wait till next week. I want to know now. You're getting it down. The episode, though, the whole episode gets out. It's a great episode. Go watch it. It was amazing. We're back with an episode of Blue Lock, and man, was it something else. I may have found my new character, but we're gonna get to that later. Let's find out if this lived up to the hype. Now we see Asagi doing everything he can to keep his team in it. They still find themselves in a 12 to 10 disadvantage because you know Ku, that fuck boy, is playing for the other team. You're still getting it down, Ku. I still don't like you. Come to your senses. Stop being a bitch. We get some really good backstory elements of Chicory, how he came to his school, became the man, ended up tearing his ACL. He was the chosen one. He blew past the W brothers and was walking all over them because they played in the same school. That's getting it up. Love the backstory. I love finding out where the players come from and what characters and how they're developing and where they're going to get to go. And that plays in later, and we're going to find out about that in a minute. We come back from the flashback, and Asagi's trying to dribble up, gets the ball stolen by the W brothers, and then they're just playing keep away to try to run out the time. We only got about 5 minutes left here, and they're doing what they can. Asagi passes the ball to Chigiri. Chigiri doesn't do anything with it. Asagi goes over, pushes Chigiri over, and says, "You're in my way," pretty much. And that just triggers Chigiri. And we finally. This boy might be my new favorite player. Chigiri, it is seen earlier that since he tore his ACL, he just locked up his leg and wouldn't use it. All of a sudden, he's thinking like, this has got me wanting to play the game that I love. Isagi is what I used to be, and I need to get back to that. So it triggers him, and all of a sudden, you see the chain on his leg. He gets up and just breaks it and takes off. Turns out Chigiri's ultimate weapon is speed, and boy is he fast. I mean, whoo, the boy is fast. He blows past everybody. He's running. Asagi's like, "I feel something." He said, "I feel a goal," which I don't know how you feel a goal. That I don't really play soccer, but he feels a goal. He passes the ball. Everybody's laughing like, "You're not passing anybody." Ku's like, "Oh, I got this easy. I'll clear it. We're done." Because they're in extra time. They have extra 3 minutes. Chigiri catches up to the ball, steals it, and the boy blasts past everybody. You're The fact that he broke this mental state just gave me such a warm and fuzzy feeling, and he takes off. He gets past every. He passes to himself, catches up with his speed, scores on him, and like, who's the bitch now? Is pretty much what he said. Ku ends up getting jumped. They tie it 4-4. They're still in this tournament, and they walk off. Ku runs off because he's being a bitch, and he tries to sell the secrets to Team V, who is undefeated. Ku, you get it down. You're still a bitch, and you're being a bitch. I need you to do better. We end the episode on Isagi running into Team V, and Team V's talking like, "Oh, well, I guess you don't have talent. I guess it just sucks for you guys." But Isagi's like, "We're gonna beat you. I'm from Team Z." So, and that's how we ended. I'm giving this episode up. Chicory is my new favorite player. He gave me the warm and fuzzes in this episode, and I'd love to see these story elements. And we're gonna have to see what happens next week. Well, if you're enjoying the content, please leave a like and a sub. Throw a comment down below how you're enjoying this, or what your favorite anime is on this list, or if there's an anime that's not on this list. We're almost at 500. We're currently sitting at 494. With all your guys' help and support, I'm slowly getting up to that illustrious 1,000. But first, I want to get to 500, so please help me up. Hit that sub button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Here on. And I'll catch you in the next anime ups and downs.